Welcome back, everybody, for another deep dive. This time, we're going deep into crypto and decentralized tech.
Ooh, sounds exciting.
It is. We've got a ton of fascinating stories and reports that you listeners sent in. It's going to be a wild ride, I think.
Buckle up.
Yeah, because we're not just looking at what happened, but what it all means.
Right, right. Like, what could this mean for the future of, I don't know, everything? Finance, tech, the whole world, maybe.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, right off the bat, we've got governments wrestling with how to deal with all of this.
Yeah, that's been a constant theme, hasn't it? This push and pull between governments trying to control things and the whole decentralized nature of crypto pushing back.
Exactly. Like that story from Singapore. They just blocked Polymarket, called it an illegal gambling site. Seems pretty extreme.
It does. But then you've got Russia taking almost the opposite approach.
Right, with their new regulations.
Yeah, they're requiring registration for big digital asset transactions and foreign trade, almost like they're trying to bring crypto into their system instead of shutting it out.
So two very different strategies. What do you think? Which one's more likely to work? And what does this mean for crypto going forward if more countries try to crack down?
Honestly, it's tough to say. I mean, can you really regulate something that's designed to be decentralized? It's a fundamental question, and the impact on adoption could be huge.
Yeah, you can see a hardline approach like Singapore's stifling innovation and driving development to other places that are more crypto-friendly.
Absolutely. But on the other hand, a more measured approach like Russia's, even if it is about control, might actually end up giving crypto more legitimacy.
And they could lead to wider acceptance. It's fascinating to watch it all play out. And speaking of big forces at play, what about the U.S. dollar? We got that report from Tianfeng Securities arguing that AI and crypto are basically Plan A and Plan B to keep the dollar on top.
Plan A and Plan B, huh? Interesting.
Yeah, they're saying AI could give the U.S. a big innovation boost, and that would help keep the dollar strong. But if that doesn't work, they think crypto, especially Bitcoin, could act as a hedge if the dollar starts to weaken.
Hmm, I see. So double down on tech or embrace the alternative. Bold strategy.
It is. But is it realistic? I mean, is it really possible that Bitcoin could step in if the dollar falters?
It's definitely a thought-provoking idea, and it brings up another important factor, energy.
Ah, yes. The Tianfeng report emphasized that energy efficiency is going to be key, right, for the economy and ultimately for any currency to stay dominant.
Exactly. You can't separate those things anymore.
Which brings us to El Salvador. They made Bitcoin legal tender, and now we're seeing companies like Rumble partnering with them.
Rumble, the video platform. Interesting.
Yep, they're going to provide cloud services to the Salvadoran government. It makes you wonder if this is just the beginning.
It does. Could this be a model for other companies or even other countries? What if more governments start looking to El Salvador and thinking, hey, maybe we should integrate Bitcoin too?
Right, what if? It's definitely something to keep an eye on. So we've got governments figuring out what to do. The dollar's future may be hanging in the balance. It's some pretty big picture stuff. But what does it all mean for regular people?
Yeah, let's zoom in a bit. How are these global trends playing out on an individual level?
Well, for some people, it's not pretty. We've got those FTX creditors who might not get repaid until 2025. That's got to be tough.
It is. It really highlights the risks involved in this market. It's still early days and things are moving fast.
Absolutely. It's a reminder that while there are big potential rewards, there are also big potential downsides. People need to be careful.
I think it underscores the need for greater consumer protection as crypto matures. Stories like the FTX situation highlight the human cost of market volatility.
Totally. It really is a double-edged sword. I mean, then you have stories like that investor who just bought millions of Swarms tokens.
Millions. Wow.
Yeah, some people are making a killing, but it's a high-stakes game.
It really is. High risk, high reward. It's a mixed bag for people trying to navigate this space.
For sure. And we can't forget about the people getting taken advantage of. Like that case with the New York Attorney General recovering crypto from work-from-home scammers.
Oof, yeah. There are always going to be people trying to exploit others, especially in a market this new and exciting. It's like the Wild West out there.
It is a bit like the Wild West, isn't it?
Yeah.
But even in the Wild West, people formed communities to support each other and work towards common goals. And that brings us to what I find so inspiring about the crypto world, the power of community.
Absolutely. There's a real spirit of collaboration. And we see that in the story about the Bioprotocol founder who donated $690,000 to the big Pharma community.
Wait, $690,000? That's amazing. And not even as an investment, just a straight-up donation.
That's right, just to help them develop AI agents. It's pure community support, people coming together to build something new.
It's incredibly inspiring. What do you think about the potential of AI and blockchain working together long-term?
Now, that's a big question. We started this deep dive talking about the future of finance and tech, but it feels like we're talking about the future of everything.
It does, doesn't it? It's all connected.
It really is. And these technologies are so intertwined with our lives that it's hard to even imagine what the world will look like as they continue to evolve.
I mean, it makes you think, right? All this stuff, it's not just about the tech itself.
It's not, no.
It's about the ideas.
Yeah.
Decentralization, individual empowerment. But then you see these FTX creditors maybe waiting till 2025 to get their money back.
Yeah, tough situation.
It makes you wonder, how do you balance that individual responsibility with the fact that this is still a new market? It's volatile.
It is a tough question.
Yeah.
And there are no easy answers, unfortunately.
Right.
I think better education would help, more resources for people getting into crypto.
Absolutely.
Got to help people understand the risks,
You need that so
Yeah,
people
yeah.
can make good decisions.
Right, informed decisions. And maybe regulators could help too.
Yeah. Create a safer environment, more transparency.
Exactly. But then on the flip side, you've got that investor who just bought millions of Swarms tokens.
Right. Millions. Some people are making a fortune.
It's crazy.
It really highlights that contrast.
It does. It's like that boom or bust thing, classic.
Mhm.
That volatility, it's exciting, but it's also scary.
It's both, yeah.
And I think it's important to remember, for every big success story, there are a lot of people who have lost money.
Oh, yeah. Or got scammed.
Yeah, exactly. Like that case with the New York Attorney General, recovering crypto from those work-from-home scams.
Oof, it's a reminder to be careful out there.
It is. Do your research if it sounds too good to be true.
It probably is.
Probably is, yep.
So how do we navigate this as individuals?
Mm-hmm.
How do we sort the good from the bad?
Well, I think healthy skepticism is a good place to start.
Okay, yeah.
Don't just follow the crowd, Don't believe everything you read online.
Right. Think for yourself.
Yeah. Take some time to learn about the tech, about the risk.
And that's where shows like this come in, I guess.
That's not the idea, right?
Yeah. Trying to give people information.
Yeah, so they can make informed choices. Knowledge is power, especially with all this new stuff.
Okay, so education's key.
Yeah.
What else? What else can people do?
Start small, I'd say,
Okay.
and diversify. Don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Good advice.
Because this tech, it's still early days.
It is.
There will be ups and downs.
Absolutely.
But the potential is huge.
Yeah, the long-term potential, that's what we got to keep in mind.
Exactly.
Speaking of which, that story about Eliza OS, really interesting.
Oh, yeah, Eliza West.
They keep integrating new networks. It's like,
It's impressive.
it seems important, that idea of interoperability.
It is. It is. For people who don't know, interoperability, it's basically about different blockchains being able to talk to each other.
Right, to work together.
Yeah, like a universal language for the decentralized world.
I like that, a universal language.
Because right now, a lot of blockchains, they're like separate islands.
Yeah.
But as this interoperability increases, you'll start to see more connections, more collaboration.
So it's like building bridges between those islands.
Exactly.
Which opens up all kinds of possibilities. I mean, think about what developers could do.
Oh, yeah.
Building applications that work across multiple blockchains. That could change everything.
It could. Finance, supply chains, healthcare even. And it brings us back to AI and blockchain.
Oh, right. We talked about that earlier.
We did, but it's worth exploring more.
It is.
What do you see as the most promising applications combining these two technologies?
That's a good one. Well, one that comes to mind is decentralized AI.
Decentralized AI, or DAI.
Right, DAI. So that's where the AI algorithms, they're developed and run on blockchain networks.
Right.
So they can operate on their own securely without any centralized control.
Exactly.
That's fascinating, but I gotta admit, it's a little scary too.
It can be, yeah.
Combining the power of AI with the whole decentralized thing, it's like, what could happen? Could we lose control?
It's a valid concern, for sure.
Yeah,
We need to be careful.
definitely.
But I think the potential benefits are worth it.
Okay.
Imagine AI algorithms collaborating, learning from each other
Wow.
without any limits. No corporate boundaries, no national
It
boundaries.
sounds like science fiction.
It does, a
But-
bit. But it's closer than you think. And that's just one example. AI and blockchain, that convergence, it could really change the world.
So to recap, we've talked about education,
Right?
diversification,
Yeah.
long-term perspective.
Important.
We've looked at interoperability
Mm-hmm.
and this whole idea of decentralized AI.
The future.
It's a lot to take in.
It is, but it's pretty exciting, isn't it?
It is. It really is. It feels like we're living through something really big.
We are.
Yeah.
These technologies, they can change everything. The way we live, the way we work. It's up to us, really, to shape that future.
Well said. And that's the perfect segue into our next segment. We're going to look at some specific examples of how these technologies are being used right now. Real-world solutions, empowering communities,
Can't wait.
decentralized AI.
It
It's a lot to wrap your head around.
is.
And, it's funny, throughout this whole deep dive, we've seen this kind of back and forth.
Oh, how so?
Well, like on one side, there's this caution.
Yeah, I see it.
Governments trying to rein in crypto,
Right.
people losing money to scams, the whole what if AI goes wrong thing.
Right, the potential downside.
But then there's this other side, this amazing optimism.
Definitely.
All these communities coming together, incredible innovations happening, this feeling that this tech could actually make the world better.
Yeah, it's like two sides of the same coin.
Exactly. Like we're on the verge of something massive, but we don't know if it's going to be amazing or terrifying.
It's a powerful moment in history, that's for sure.
It is. And it reminds me of that story we talked about, the BioProtocol founder donating all that money.
Yeah, $690,000, a huge donation.
Well, it just shows you the good that can come out of this space, this generosity, the collaboration.
It's really inspiring, people supporting each other, building new things together.
It's so different from, like, the traditional financial world. It makes you wonder if this model, this decentralized way of doing things, could work in other areas too.
Interesting question.
Like, what if this is just the start of a whole new way of working together, solving problems together?
Now that would be something.
It would. Well, we've covered a lot of ground today. Regulations, the dollar, AI, scams, communities. It's been quite a ride.
It has a lot to think about.
I hope you've all enjoyed this deep dive into crypto and decentralized tech.
And hopefully you've come away with some new insights and maybe even more questions.
Because the truth is, we're just scratching the surface here. What happens next is really up to all of us.
So stay informed, stay engaged, and as always, stay curious.
Couldn't have said it better myself. And a huge thank you to everyone who sent in these amazing stories and reports. We'll keep diving deep into this world together. Until next time.